Sara Erickson, Director of Sales and Marketing here at Renegade Game Studios. And although I'll be with you in person this year, I am so excited to be here at the Alliance Open House online. And it's a great opportunity for me to get to share with you some of our upcoming holiday games, everything that's happening for the rest of this year, and talk a little bit more about a pretty big announcement we made this morning. After that, I will be in the Discord channel to answer any of your questions. So please think of those, keep them on a little list next to you, and let me know in the Discord channel after my presentation. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna switch my screen and show you some of the fun stuff we have going on for the rest of this year. Give me 1 second to do that. All right, here we go. So, like Renegade Game Studios, you probably know us from lots of other games we've made, like Clank, Lanterns, Power Rangers, Heroes of the Grid, a ton of other games we've been putting out over the last 6 years. So coming up this fall, we do have a slew of new games. I know that you guys have been doing great the last few months. Sales in a lot of places have been good. Sales in other places have been a little bit scary, but either way, we have games that will be easy to sell during this holiday times when people are going to be hunkering down at home a little bit more and getting ready just to sit around a table and enjoy their family or their bubble or the arts that they feel safe with. So one of the first games I really wanted to talk about just came out, actually. This is Gudetama, a tricky egg card game. And this is a trick-taking game, so that makes it a really easy sell, especially at $15. So if you have groups that are getting together and want something that they can play with maybe their non-gamer friends or non-gamer family members within their bubble, this one's great for that because trick-taking is very easy, it's simple, and if you don't know anything about Gudetama, this is a licensed property from a company called Sanrio, and they also do some things you're probably familiar with, like Hello Kitty, and some other great properties like that. So Gudetama is one of their most popular brands because it's so relatable. The lazy egg is all about being lazy and just letting life go by. So if that is something you can relate to or your customers can relate to, this is going to be a really easy game to sell for 2 to 7 players. I will say it's sold out already. We sold this really, really well. Everybody's super excited about it, but we're reprinting it. We knew it was going to be a big deal, and so we're reprinting it. It's coming out very soon. So if you can't find any copies, just wait, we'll be back there in a second. Another thing I wanted to mention is that this is a game that we're doing in partnership with Oni Games. They've done a lot of great stuff, including the Tea Dragon Society, Aquacorn Cove, and Junior Braves, the role-playing game. So if you like their stuff, this is another one that we're partnering with them on. Adventuring Party, this also just came out. This allows you to play regular Clank or a finished copy of Clank Legacy with up to 6 players. It's something that people have been asking for a long time from our Clank line, and now they get to play with even more people. Originally, it was only up to 4, and I know a lot of families go up to 5 or 6 people. So this gives you unique starting decks, so each person around the table can play a completely different character, including one I'm super excited about, which is Mr. Whiskers. So if you always wanted to play as this devilish feline in the Clank universe, now you can with the unique starting deck. This is $30 and it just came out last week, so this should be available now. We also are just about to launch our latest puzzle line, and I know a lot of you have been able to sell a lot more puzzles than in past years, which is great. This is a wonderful way that the family can get together and do something around the table while you listen to music, while you chat about the day, and just gives people something else, even if they're not hardcore into gaming. These are all based on our most popular game lines, including Kids on Bikes, Arboretum, Raiders of the North Sea, and Overlight. These are beautiful puzzles. They're 1,000 pieces. They're only $20 each, and they're high quality puzzles. We went to a lot of effort to make sure that these were nice, thick cardboard. We know about game components, so we wanted to make sure that these puzzles matched our expectations for quality in the puzzle space, just like we do in the games. And these are coming out on October 7th, and we don't have a ton of stock, so make sure that you order these right away. Raiders of Scythia is also coming out on October 7th, $55 MSRP. This is a game that's related to Raiders of the North Sea, which was a Kennerspiel nominee and has been wildly popular for us for the past many years. This is very similar in that it uses those base game mechanics that you already know and love from Raiders of the North Sea and adds a new flavor to it with different artwork from a different artist. This is actually art by Sam Phillips. And it also adds some really cool extra additional mechanics, including eagles and horses that give you bonuses as you're raiding that are completely unique to this game. It also gives each player separate unique player powers starting from the very beginning of the game. And this solo mode is included in the box, which I know is a bigger deal than it used to be and something that a lot of players are looking for. This is coming out on October 7th, and there is a coin pack available for it as well. Again, we're already sold out of this, but don't worry, we knew this would be popular and we have more coming in for this as well. So order early if you can still find copies, and make the most of this release. Coming out October 14th is Cat Tower. This is a cat stacking, cat crafting game where you are trying to make the tallest tower possible to get the snacks on the top shelf. This is so cute and a great gift. It's only 20 bucks. People are going to see those ears popping up from the box while it's on the shelf. And once you open it and play, you can see that we've actually added some fun other elements to this box. It actually opens up and has little legs that stick out. It's just hilarious. It's really cute. Easiest gift possible. If you make a little display that has cat games on it, this needs to be there. If you're familiar with this game already, it did come out from IDW previously, but we had all of the other games by the same designer and artist and thought that it would just make sense for us to have all of Aza Chen's games in one line together. And so if you love this one, we also have Kitty Pot, Doggy Go, Shiba Inu House, Fireworks, and all of these go together and would make a great little display. Another bigger game that we have coming out in October is Athenaeum. This is a fan-style, lighter Euro game where you're drafting cards that will give everyone next to you and yourself a bonus when you play them. So it's a very friendly game. This is about organizing a library, making sure that all of your books are in the right place to match the goals that you have. And you're helping out, like I said, those people sitting next to you at the same time. So as far as family games go, this is just a perfect match because everybody at the table gets something every turn and feels good about it. There's no take that mechanic at all. It's just fun and lots of puzzliness, especially fans that loved Ex Libris for that connection to the library, that organization, that matching patterns. They're going to love this game as well. So look at your store list, see who bought Ex Libris, and maybe recommend this to them as well, because this is going to be one of our big holiday releases. And this comes out in October. Autumn Harvest coming out November 11th, just in time for all those fall colors. This is a follow-up to the Tea Dragon Society, which has been one of our most popular games. And the Tea Dragon Society is a standalone card game. Autumn Harvest is also a standalone card game, but if you play them together, you can now play with an extra player, and it gives you more choices and expands that original Tea Dragon Society game. This is another game we're doing in partnership with Oni Games. They're awesome. This is part of a line of graphic novels. So if you have any access to carrying graphic novels in your store, I highly recommend selling the Tea Dragon Society and Autumn Harvest, both the books and the games together. These are gorgeous little family style deck building games, really easy to learn, and just absolutely wonderful art from Katie O'Neill. So check these ones out. This is going to be ready for the holidays on November 11th. Coming out actually later this month are our two latest expansions in Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. This is a cooperative miniatures board game designed by Jonathan Yeen, who has done Imperial Assault and worked on a lot of other games before he left Fantasy Flight and started working with us. And these are just really good games for people who have that nostalgia for Power Rangers from when they were kids. These are not kids' games. These are really thinky strategy cooperative games, and we put out scenarios for these every month. So people are not going to get bored. We're always putting out new content. There's so much to do in this game, and people are just loving it. The new Psycho Rangers expansion adds Mastermind mode, which allows one person to be the mastermind and everyone else is playing against them, which adds a whole new element to the way this game works. We're also adding the villain pack number 2, Machine Empire, which allows for paired monsters, which is a brand new game mechanic. Both of those coming out at the end of this month. Ooh, got a little excited there. All right, Scott Pilgrim Miniatures the World, another game we're partnering with Oni Press on, and this game is a 3D pop-up board game where all of the elements of the game, including the beautiful 3D pre-painted miniatures, are on a board with other 3D elements that they can throw around and have game effects. So it's actually on a grid, but the whole game is about the combat between the good guys and the 7 evil X's. So as you play, you'll be picking up mic stands or bass drums and throwing them at your opponent to try and deal damage. So when I say throw, I mean more in a game sense where the character would have that object in their space and then they would move it a certain number of spaces past them, which would then push or knock over other characters. So there's no dexterity component here, but there is a lot of fun 3D elements to this game. This is $100 coming out in November. And along with that, we have the collector's edition figure set. So if you have people who are huge Scott Pilgrim fans and just love all those beautiful pre-painted miniatures that are big and chunky that we put out as part of this game, they can get them as an individual without the game components. That way, if they want to display them, just collect them as themselves. That's also available and also come in November. Carbon is the latest in our role-playing game line. This core rulebook and GM screen are coming out in December based on the hit TV series from Netflix. This is in partnership with Hunters Entertainment, and the core rulebook and GM will be coming out together. It has all the information about the system. If you've played any of Hunter's other games like Outbreak Undead, you might be familiar with how they really dig into the nitty-gritty emotional part of the role-playing system and make it perfect for the IP. I think people are going to be really excited about this one. Alice is Missing is a smash surprise hit, also from Hunters Entertainment. This is coming out in December as well. And this is a silent role-playing game that uses text messaging for players to interact with each other. This is totally unique. I cannot say enough good things about this game. It is perfect for trying to sell right now during the pandemic when people are so anxious to spend time with their friends and family that are far away or aren't safe to be around for whatever reason. They can still play Alice is Missing together. And in this game, you are a group of friends who are trying to find Alice, who has gone missing in your town, and you'll flip over cards to guide you towards the answers of the who, what, why, and where. But then it's up to you to text with your friends and try and figure out where she went and what's going on with her and tell your story together. There's no DM. This is absolutely replayable, and it's only $20. Just to mention, because I did have a few questions about this one, it is not a book. I know it's hard to tell in digital stuff like this, but this is actually a box that's sized like Arboretum. So if you've seen that kind of small box size, if you participated in our small box display program earlier this year, you'll recognize this box. And inside you're going to find a rule book and cards, but no big hefty role-playing system. This is very easy for anyone, even if you've never role-playing game before, jump in and start playing. The designer is Spencer Stark. You may maybe from him from Icarus. He loves to make really off-the-wall indie RPGs. And this one, I think he just has knocked it out of the park. Again, this is one that we saw the writing on the wall, knew how popular it was going to be. We actually ordered of it before, like basically when we'd announced it. So we knew how excited people were, and we'll have enough copies to cover everybody when this releases, which is great news for all of us. Embarcadero is on Kickstarter right now, and if you want to be a retailer backer, you could, but I highly encourage you to order this from Alliance when it comes out in March. This is going to be a really easy sell off your shelf. All of the reviewers have loved this. They've been really excited. The game is beautiful. This is all about this really cool piece of history. So the Embarcadero is this area of San Francisco where boats were docking during the gold rush in 1850. Tons and tons of people were coming from Europe and all over the world to try and find all the gold that was in the hills up away from San Francisco. But once they docked, they had no need for their ships anymore. So they just left them in the bay, derelict ships all over the place, and suddenly they were running out of room for retail businesses on the land, which in San Francisco is very hilly, hard to build on, and they had all of these ships taking up space. So some smart business people decided to start actually building their businesses on top of these ships as they sat in the port, and then even adding ground around them to extend the usable land in this area. If you go to San Francisco today, many of the big downtown buildings that you know about, the area you walk around, actually still has these ghost ships, they're called, underneath them, because land just kept getting added on top of these ships as people expanded. So this game is all about adding 3D building elements on top of ship tiles to expand your business, collect resources, and pretend that you are one of these entrepreneurs that you would recognize from that era, Levi Strauss, Ghirardelli, and so on. So if that appeals to you, I think that a lot of people are going to be excited about this one. Ed Marriott is the designer. He designed Scoville, and we will have this out for retail in March. All right, now the time that a lot of people have been waiting for. Did out some pretty big announcements this morning, and I just wanted to take some time to go over those really quickly so we're all on the same page. And then absolutely, please, like I said, ask me any questions you have in that Discord channel after this nice little chat we're having. So this morning, we announced we are working a little bit more closely with Hasbro. So in the past, of course, like I talked about before, we already have partnered with Hasbro to do the Power Rangers miniatures game. And we've been doing that for a couple years, and it's been awesome. We've had so many wonderful people from the Power Rangers community that have come into the gaming space for the very first time after finding out about this game. So we talked to Hasbro and said, hey, we've had a great time working on this. What can we do? So we announced this morning a few new things. Starting G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe has a very long history. This is one of Hasbro's very first things that they worked on and really propelled them into the company that we know and love today. So we announced this morning that we will be doing both deck building games and role-playing games for G.I. Joe. Also, this will be in the 5th edition system using their open gaming license. So if you have people who already know and love D&D and want something that they can play in a little bit more of a modern world, we're working on that. And this won't be available right away. We're starting to roll out some of these deck building games and role-playing games I'm about to talk about in March next year. And then they'll flow through 2021 and 22. So this won't all be available right at once, but we're working on it and we're very excited. So that's G.I. Joe. Transformers. We also have this coming out later next year. And again, we are doing both the deck building game and a role-playing game for this. Again, just like G.I. Joe, this will be 5th edition compatible, and it'll be a little bit of the same system, of course, but now we have a setting that allows us to go to space and do all sorts of crazy things with robots. So we can't wait to get that out in front of people. Also, I must say, I am personally very, very excited about this. I've loved My Little Ponies since I was very tiny, and I cannot wait to have a role-playing game and deck building game for My Little Pony that I can play with my friends. This is just going to be awesome. Of course, many of you have had a successful role-playing game previously for My Little Pony. That's awesome. Now we're going to make one that's 5th edition compatible. So it just opens it up to kind of a different crowd. And the deck building game will be very accessible. So look forward to that probably a little bit later on. Power Rangers. Like I mentioned, we've already done lots of great Rangers. We are now going to be able to do a deck building game and a role-playing game for this as well. So the deck building game we actually are already working on, and we are about to make this as a big announcement. So please keep this secret for now. You are the first people to see anything about this. Please don't broadcast this everywhere. But this is designed by Matt Hyra. So he is a designer behind DC deck building game, Vampire the Masquerade, expandable card game, and many other great things that we have coming out. So this is coming out March 2021 and it will be $45. So yeah, we have more announcements for that coming out very soon. Also, I know this is not a very exciting slide, but if you are looking for things and you can't find them at our distributor partners like Wonderful Alliance, don't worry, we have lots of reprints in the works. This has been a crazy year. So we're working on getting these to you very soon. But if you can find any of these at distributors now and you want them for the holidays, I highly recommend just ordering these now. So we've got Kids on Bikes, Clank Sunken Treasure, Clank Mummy's Curse, Fox in the Forest, Clank Legacy, Raiders of the North Sea. All of these are games that we had a lot of people pretty excited about these, so they're coming. We also have Gudetama, Clank, Bargain Quest, Arboretum, Lucidity, which has been out of stock for a little while and is finally coming back, which we're excited about. Raiders of Scythia, which I already mentioned. The Raiders Collector's Box, which just released and we already sold out of it. This one has 200 card sleeves for Raiders of the North Sea and a beautiful box that you can store both of the expansions in. Clank Ape Lords, Clank in Space, and The Search for Planet X are all coming out as reprints. I did want to mention a few other retailer resources, web banners, rule books, TV slides. All of this can be found at renegadegames.com/retailers. So if you're looking at these things, you don't know when something's coming out. I know release dates are moving fast and furiously right now, so go and check out this site and we'll get you the most updated release information. Love a store locator? Please, please, please go and sign up for the store locator right away because we need to be able to tell where to find things. And we would always rather recommend that they go to a friendly local game store than anywhere else. So if you can sign up for there, we post about this in almost every newsletter we send out. So please make sure your information is updated. If it's not, you know where to find me. Also, we make a ton of content that you can use. our weekly scenarios for Power Rangers and other free content we put online for players just to support the games we make. We also have weekly Twitch streaming every single day of the week, of the regular business week. We've got Power Rangers, Renegade at Home, Vampire the Masquerade Rivals expandable card game. We're doing a live stream for that every week on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock Pacific time. We also have a live start new role-playing game. Super fun people in that one. And then also the regular weekly talk show where we just talk to industry people and have a nice Friday evening. One other thing, actually, before we go too much farther here, there's another thing I really wanted to share with you. Go to vampirecardgame.com. You are, Vampire Card Game. Sorry, this is very exciting here. We have started creating mini sites for our games. And let me just do a screen share here so you guys can see this. We want to make sure that, all right, let's see if I can figure out how to screen share. Okay, Chris, you may have to help me on this one. How do I screen share to a different window? There we go. Let's try. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. So what I want to share with you is Vampire the Masquerade Rivals is a very big deal for us. So this is coming out in March of next year. No, I'm sorry. Coming out in January of next year. And this is an expandable card game that shares a lot of TCG type stuff, but it's going to be expandable. So there will be no blind reveal packs. We'll have expansions that come out regularly. This is a great line. So if you have people who love Vampire in the past, we really want you to jump in at the beginning of this one coming out in January. So I wanted to just share with you. Let me see here. There we go. Awesome. So we have a whole mini site for this. And what's cool about this is that you can get a lot of information on here about the card decks that are exciting. We'll have a deck builder on here. We also have forums where people can discuss things. We have a Discord channel, and we'll be putting up information for organized play up here. We have a really robust organized play program plan. So I just wanted to show this to you so you kind of know where to go to get more information about this game and to see all the fun stuff we're doing. We're going to be giving players things like achievements that they're trying to get to by going to local stores, by playing in big regional events. There's a lot going on for this game, and we really want you to be part of that with us. So if you have any questions about Vampire coming out, the box set to start with is only $45, really easy price point to jump into. And then we'll have expansion sets coming out very shortly after that. So please go and check out this site. It's really exciting for us to launch a real organized play system like we know and love from past games we've worked on. And we wanted to share that with you. So go in there and become part of the community, and it'll really help out. It'll be awesome. So that is all that I have for this morning. It was great getting to show you guys everything we're working on. I can't wait to go and jump into Discord and start chatting with you, just like we would be if we were actually at the Alliance Open House right now in person. But I'm so thankful that Alliance has put this on for us, and I am looking forward to next year where I get to see you guys in person, hopefully. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of this exciting event, and I'll see you over in Discord. Thanks. Bye.
All right, you're clear.
Yay! All right, thank you so much. And then I'll be back for